Hey, hi, everybody. Welcome. First one in the room, it looks like. Welcome to our little chitty chat about soulmates, twin flames, and planetary ascension, or the great awakening, or the merger of the fifth dimension into the third, or whatever you want to call it, and how our relationships play a role in all of that. I am your host, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi, hey, meow, dollface, hey, sweetheart, how are you? Welcome. We're going to do a little bit of a schmooze time. I want to get down to business. It's been a busy day. I worked all day. Today's Labor Day. Depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching it live, you know that. But I said the What Do I Need reads. Today, the What Do You Need reads for this new moon invert to full moon next in Aries, September into October. Actually, the full moon's on October 1st. It's a blood moon. 2020 is really rough, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about tonight. Already living for the fans. Happy birthday. Yay. Thank you. Yeah. And the kitten. So now this is Kitty and Cat. Kitty. This is my life. This is what I live with. Because this is definitely Balthazar. This is Balthazar. This is Melchior, but a little bit bigger. Well, that's Melchior's back. That's Melchior. And Sabby's like, I'm not a fan. Because he's not. He's my Cancerian. Hi, I hope you are all done. How are you? We've got a lot to unpack tonight, and I would like to take my time doing it, but I also want to give people time to come into the room. I know this is a hot subject, and certainly people can watch it later, but just to make the point that this is something that's still unfolding for me. This interconnection has always been, what I'm going to be talking about tonight, I guess has always been this way. It's just being revealed to me as we go. A lot of it I've known, a chunk of it I've known. Let's not do hubris there. The inflammation of knowing. Hey, Ma. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, yes, and thank you, everyone, for the birthday gifts and the birthday wishes and stuff. I can't say I didn't do a damn thing. I some intensive self-care yesterday for my birthday. Did not leave the house except to throw some stuff out in the dumpster, literally, metaphor. But took a lot of time for my own healing and boundary setting, looking forward to the new year ahead of me. And today I already knocked 3 readings out of the park. You will see them tomorrow at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and noon Eastern Daylight Time. What do I need reads? Yeah, I'm doing the conversation. We may have some unstable connection issues. I'm seeing that pop up. But I tell you right now, everything in my house that can be disconnected from Wi-Fi has been disconnected from Wi-Fi. So it's just me, the laptop, and the camera. I almost had a chorus line moment there, but I swallowed it. I backed it up. I said, no, this is not the time or the place for a chorus line quote. Otherwise, I have to drink the water, which I'm glad to do anyway. But yeah, standard rules still apply, right? What is it? If I thwarp a fan, out of emphasis, not just showing off. Take a sip. Sing out of nowhere. I'll work a song lyric into the conversation, because I really do want to talk about, you know why? Here's why. The twin flame reads that I did with the extended and the soulmate reads that I did with the extended, do you understand 12 signs? It's 24 videos in a week, and I'm breaking them up with the What Do I Need reads at this point, and the Path of True Love reads, and whatever else I feel like comes down the pike. I need to space those out. Maybe doing them, like, I really saw the stories and felt the themes of them, so I want to talk. I think it's important in the sense that people are really, I don't think it's that's what it's about. I think that's what the ego does with it, but I want to talk about that. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Blessed be. Thank you. I am somewhat rested and rejuvenated, but of course I threw myself back into work today, Virgo that I am. So I'm a little, but I have like a fire in my belly on this particular subject? Well, because of relationships. My pathway of enlightenment in this life, you could say, has been through relationships. And I think that's true for all of us. Who doesn't have relationships? People say, I'm not in a relationship. I'm like, you have a relationship to gravity. We're nothing but relationships, right? But particularly with the law of attraction part of it, and how a lot of our spiritual myths are being busted, and how a lot of the belief systems that got us this far are just being dismantled. They don't work anymore. A lot of what we believe about law of attraction just is not true, and a lot of people are doing, I think, some, I don't want to say necessary self-damage. It's something we have to go through. In that sense, it's necessary, but after a while, I don't know how necessary it is. Like if you're asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Are my manifestation skills not working, right? Am I doing this wrong? What's wrong? Is my vibration low? So then you're emotionally bypassing because you're afraid if you have a bad feeling, you won't meet your soulmate. Oh, fucking cool. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Hi, Richard. How are you? Hi. So as a result, I watch these, other readers. I'm not mentioning anybody's names because in a way guilty of it myself. This idea of the soulmate, or in some cases the twin flame relationship, being some kind of savior, like a rescue from pain. And it's like, that just sounds like spiritual codependence to me. So what they've been showing me in these past, like I said, the twin flame reads and the soulmate reads, overall, not any one particular sign, but overall, it's all about tinfoil hat. Because to me, still, when I hear planetary ascension, I'm like, the New Yorker in me, did you see that? The New York witch, just goes, really? We're gonna go there? But it is. Love raises vibration. But if you want to see it as the the spiritual awakening of millions of people, then same thing. Of course, that's affecting the whole planet, right? So how all this stuff is interconnected. Now, we already can do our 10-10 wins. It's 10:01 here where I am. Make a wish at 10:10. But I would like tonight to lay that aside so that we can get right into the opening prayer, talk about this. I wanted to give some time for people to get in the room. Certainly 10 p.m. is usually when I tell people I'm going live, but I'm always in here a little early. And the connection seems to be unstable. I get the little yellow triangle. Oh, maybe I'll do this. When you see my fingers do this, I don't even know that you can see me now. This means that I'm getting the little yellow triangle. Okay, so there, now it stops. So if you see me do this, it means I'm seeing a little yellow triangle. It says the connection is unstable, and I don't mean mine. We're talking the technology, it can't keep up. Does your 5G get 5D? Oh my God. So we'll start in a little bit. I want to say a prayer. Hello, Deep Soul Tarot. Happy, thank you for the birthday blessings. It was lovely. I mean, look, I could have gone to the Pines. I could have gone to Cherry Grove. I could have gone to Brooklyn. I could have just gotten in my car and driven. But I was exhausted. I'm not kidding. I still am from those soulmate reads. They were wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a martyr to my work. But they were a lot. It's 24 readings, right? I love doing the extended now, but it's like an Olympian athlete feat for me artistically, right? As an artist to produce it. Because here's what people don't get about me. Some people know this. Every reading I do, whether it's with a client face-to-face, right, which obviously not having tons of those right now, unless they can prove, unless they have like doctors' medical reports that day, right, that they can prove that they are, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say it on the tube of you. But I do breath work before every video, before everything, even these that I do, I take like the hour beforehand to get the lights and the camera and all that ready. But then at some point I sit down for like a good 15, 20 minutes and I do Wim Hof breath and I pray and I get myself, but before every single reading that I do, except I will say in the case of the Twin Flames and the Soulmates with the extended, I would do the first chunk for YouTube, literally like stop the camera at the end of it, go pee, go check on whatever's running upstairs, because that's where I upload stuff to YouTube, is on the desktop upstairs. Maybe, did I say pee? Like if I had to, take a sip of water, go right back into it. So there's not like this huge gap. Oh, well, thank you, Meow Meow. Thank you for the tip, sweetheart. Aw, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate, I think we all appreciate being appreciated, particularly when there's a dollar sign involved. And I mean, look, I'm not turning tricks here on YouTube. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm gonna give you the best I got tonight, which is the point. I mean, yeah, I guess I could get different tech and just crank out readings all day long. It's not who I am. If this work becomes a drag, I won't want to do it anymore. Oh, thank you, Ma. Look, 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 Mel. Mel made some money. Mel made some money from Mal and Meow Meow. That's hard to say. Oh, the thing is I can't have on the air conditioning and stream or record at the same time because the vent is literally right there, right above me, and you hear every single fluctuation of every change and all that. So these fans have just been delightful. So it's 5 minutes after. We've got, I think, enough people in the room. I'm going to do the opening prayer. And I do encourage you, if you would like to tip me as we go, tip me. Because I'm going to give you everything I got tonight. This is a really important subject to me, and I think to many people as well. Shall we slaughter some sacred cows? Everyone take a nice deep breath. Yeah. Everybody take a nice couple of deep breaths, actually. As I call in our collective guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, and ancestors to surround us all right now who are watching later, who come in and don't even know what's going on, to surround us in a force field of light, of truth, containing and protecting the information and the work that we share together this evening. I ask that all one thing to say, but also my guides, my masters, especially the ascended masters of soulmate contracts, the angels of love and true love, and all of that, my gods, my goddesses sacred, guide this, speak through me, use me as needed. But I ask that all information and energy that exchanges between all of us, me, y'all, as well as anybody watching, do so clearly, cleanly, and for the well-being of all, and use the sound of my voice to transmit whatever codes, whatever blessings, whatever healing is necessary. I surrender. Just use me already for the well-being of all. And I ask that the twin flame and soulmate section of the Akashic libraries please be opened and staffed. That to each and all watching, they may have the spontaneous memories and recollections needed to see the larger patterns in their soul contracts in this life and in others, that they may see their contribution, not just to the well-being of all, but to the evolution of consciousness on planet Earth, fifth dimensional and above. Use me to that for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Buckle your seatbelts. We're going there. Look, I'm going to say over the years, I've become not less love and light, less fluffy. I'm not saying this in like, oh my God, it's so badass. But it is. To actually love what arises within you, just that, just the self-love piece, huge. So we're going to be talking about all of that. Hi. I surrender and open my heart to transformation. So let's do it. How, there's so many songs, it just flooded into my head. How many roads must a man go down before he knows he's a man? It's blown in the wind. Oh, shit. If I make the rules, I have to obey them. That's what self-governance is. How many relationships have you been in? Right? The students, take out your notebooks and put at the top of the page my relationships, and please start listing how many relationships you've been in just in this life. Just in this life, right? We could get to all them others some other time. But if you just started listing, mother, father, lack thereof, by the way, write all that down. How many soul contracts are you in this life, right? Think about it. The kids you were in kindergarten with. Reason, season, or lifetime. Soul contracts or soul contracts. We're all souls, right? Damn, right? How many of them taught you how to love yourself because they just couldn't? How many of them taught you how to protect yourself, to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself, right? Twin flames. Those are the twin flames. Ones that teach you how to love yourself. Simple. And everybody wants them. I'm like, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Your brother, your sister, your parents, it doesn't matter. That's the nature of that contract. Soulmate. Who are the ones that help you heal? That you love each other easily. It's just like, hi. Again, doesn't matter. Time and space. It's the cliche in a way. Like, I know my friend Leslie. We haven't seen each other. We bump into each other in Sayville every now and again, but we had a history going all the way back to the 90s. But I know that if her and I really sat down over a cup of coffee or what have you, she doesn't live on Long Island anymore, that the stories would come out and we would pick up. The same with my girlfriend Lillian Carter, the choreographer in Boston. Really, we're my dearest friends. We don't talk all the time, but I know. Pack of Newport menthols and a Dodge Omni, where it's just back in the 80s all over again, right? Soul contracts. Those are your soulmates. Those are your soulmates. Doesn't mean it's perfect all the time. Doesn't mean it's happy, peppy, bursting with love 24/7. That's technically a song lyric. Break my heart if somebody doesn't know where happy and peppy and bursting with love comes from in this room of Generation X people. You write that down. Make my day. Make my day if you know what that's from. I'll give you a hint. JP Morgan, and I don't mean the bank. Okay. I have to get that off my chest. So you can see, like, just if you look at twin flames and soulmates alone, those people who have impacted your life, not to mention the nameless people that you have touched and influenced in your life, all of those relationships, right? How many? Like soul family, how many? Right? You can't count them. Don't worry, they can. They know. Because here's the tea. Ready? Here's what turns this all sideways for me. Prepare yourself. And people know this. It's just weird to say it. We're not really humans. And I'm not talking about extraterrestrial, paranormal, blah, blah, blah. Human is the name of a word, right? It's a name that we created to explain this species on this planet, Homo sapiens, human. But that's not really who we are. We are souls. We are spirit. E that equals MC squared. Cannot be created or destroyed. Only changed, transformed, blah, blah, blah. This is spirituality 101. So I don't think what I'm saying here is all that far out of, if not the ballpark, the putt golf range, right? Because, you don't want to golf ball those things too far away. We get that. We come into these bodies. We incarnate. The word incarnation, the root of the word carn, it means meat. Carnivore. Carne is other. It's like, I didn't make this shit up. It's just the way it is, right? So we come into these lives. We are all one. We're all. Well, that's the thing. We say we're all one, and yet in this experience, we do not appear that way. So the idea of being in soul contracts itself from the place of total unity consciousness makes no sense. It's like contracts with what? Myself? And yes, kinda, sorta, so that the one can experience itself as the many. That's a whole other strata of theology, cosmology. My God, the Vedics we could go to, but let's just put that aside for the moment. But the ego, my darling, right? The ego separates us. The ego is necessary because the ego is the part of the soul that is the most dormant. It is the densest, most dormant part. But here's the important part of it. Every lifetime, ready? Buckle up. Buckle up. Remember, we're souls. We're not these human lives. It's every lifetime that's ever been lived on planet Earth has been lived beginning to end. It is already recorded, and we are just watching what has already gone by. All of the relationships and all the soul contracts that we take so fucking seriously are pre-written. They're written in. They're written in. You know, coming in, what you're getting into, more or less. I think like a good movie, you don't know all the twists and turns, right? You know, spoilers, right? There's even apparently meta incarnation where you can replay the same life over and over again, over again. I know, it's like Netflix. Reincarnational Netflix is kind of, but wouldn't it make sense? That's where we got the idea from. Literally streaming, right? So the choices that we make in and out in all our relationships, what's the point then if it's already gone by? Because it's like going to the gym for the soul. The soul develops skills, tastes, powers. That's what the archetypes are all about. Why I use those archetype cards, right? So let's say you get the hero archetype in a twin flame reading. Well, this is the twin flame that's teaching your soul how to use that power to become that power that it's in you in leaded form. Can you alchemize it into gold? And that's what the relationship is for. Soulmate, same idea, except you help each other get there. It's a totally different schemata. It's a totally different contract, yet with the same purpose. And because of unity, as one of us heals, all of us heal. So we can stop taking all of this soulmate stuff, not serious. Okay, if you want to take it seriously, take it seriously. But understand that if you're using it to beat yourself up, I mean, maybe that's part of it that you just have to go through, sort of like, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I'll never fall in love. Oh, yes, you will. Believe me, I say the exact same words still. Why do I do this? This is stupid. I should just... it doesn't exist. I want Clark Kent who can fly. See, I've dated Clark Kent. I've dated plenty of Clark Kent, but I've yet to come across a true Kal-El. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I need. I need a hero. I'm holding on for a hero till the morning light. Jesus Christ, Mark. I mean, there's gay and there's gay. That's like Bonnie Tyler quoting gay, but hey, that's why you love me, right? You know, they're using my head anyway. They're talking through me. So let's see what we got here. Lessons we get from relationships help us train the ego to be a tool for the soul. But I want to take that even a step further. What if the ego is the soul, right? If everything is divine. See, this is what used to freak me out as a kid. This was the kind of, uh-oh. All right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And then there's the whole, you know, I don't want to, I mean, I have to bring Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman into this. I mean, obviously, the reverse psychology of don't touch that tree to a child. First time on the planet. Logical issues there. See, my children know that they're not supposed to come in yet. See, soulmate. We help each other heal. Okay. So we incarnate into these lives. Sorry, I got rebooted there. Says the ego is the unconscious part of the soul. I do agree. That's, you know, and that's the thing why I say so much I adore Matt Kahn, because I kind of knew that. Because loving yourself, what really grinds my gears is when people, for example, use the law of attraction as a way to harm themselves and they don't realize they're doing it because they're emotionally bypassing and denying that child inside of them, and they're so impatient and so angry. And of course, it's from an inflamed nervous system. Another definition of the ego from Matt Kahn. I adore him. Sweater vest and all, and his kale and all of that. He feels like a little brother, even though he's got my older brother's name, right? Because he's my Matthew. I'm Mark. There would have been Luke and John, which would have sucked if they were girls, but what are you going to do? Quantum variations abound. So we come into these lives playing these roles, but not just for that part of the soul developing, right? Experiencing the ego unraveling and being loved and absorbed into the soul. In other words, there are certain principles in the game because that's what this world is. It's sort of like a video game. It's sort of like going to the gym. That this incarnation is about bringing heaven into earth, bringing love into form, right? The balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Oh my God, it's the mystics and the Skeksis if you want to dark crystal it. We've had this in our lexicon and in the unconscious mind since jump, right? Even the tree, the knowledge of good and evil. The Shaolin monk said to me, just spit out the apples. Oh, right, unity. Easier said than done. We do it through our relationships. That as we transform through the holographic nature of unity consciousness, it's not that we're all connected. We're one thing. One spirit, one soul. As one heart heals holographically, all hearts heal. And I'm very grateful for Matt Kahn about that earth-centered, heart-open thing where you see like the emerald green of the heart chakra, which I've been doing since what? When did I learn the rainbow system of the chakras? 1983? I was young. I was really, really young when I came to this stuff. So visualizing that, but to see in there Mother Earth. So as I'm loving my own heart and the empathic surges, come on, my empaths. This has been nuts 2020. I feel like my whole life I was just like everything I had been through was just to toughen me up for 2020. Are you with me? Tip me a buck if you're with me. Have you just been through the empathic hard slog that has been 2020, questioning just everything of every intense emotion that has passed through you? My good God Almighty. 1/3 of the population supposedly divine feminine empaths. The system, honey. What we are healing for the planet, that's just bananas. But so it is. So every emotion that you are feeling, that, you know, law of attraction, oh no, I can't feel that. If I feel that, I may not get my soulmate because my vibration's low. How loving is that? How loving is that? Where the soulmate contract, and look, like I said, I've said many times in my videos, my mother and I have a soulmate contract. My father and I had, God rest his soul, Kenny, a twin flame contract. And I don't think that's uncommon, actually. I don't think that's special at all. I think that just sort of happens that way. It's not that my father didn't love me, just couldn't give me the acceptance that I wanted him to give me because I'm gay and he wasn't, and a Republican and a Catholic, and you get it, right? I was born in 1968, do the math, right? But taught me how to love myself, put me on the path of Louise Hay and Shakti Gawain, and all of those very same, you know, you create your own reality things that now I don't think a lot of them are going to make it into the fifth dimension, not because of the core teachings themselves necessarily, but of what the ego has done, false scaffolding around the universal law. I think it's being burned away. I do. Hello, Brisbane, Australia, darling. Soul Twin Tara. I don't know why I was doing Liverpool and I can do Adelaide. I know people from Adelaide. No, I just channel them. I just channel them. Fucking Rich Little of the spiritual world. Rich Little, look it up. We've been spiritually nitpicking at ourselves instead of looking at what's right with ourselves, and beyond that, even went to love the one that nitpicks. That's radical. Matt Kahn calls it the love revolution. And you know what? God bless him. It's a great name. You should really fucking run with that, because that's what we need right now is the love revolution. Honestly, there's a revolution happening with the social justicers, the second wave, if you want to call them that, the divine masculines, right? Please put on the news. We're watching it. We're watching this planet, the pressure cooker, the crucible, the crucifix, the dark night of the soul, the shamanic descent, whatever you want to call it. The whole world's going through it. But here's the thing. How many of you have been through this in your own life already individually, that the whole world is going through it now symbolically? Like you can look back and go, yeah, I've just sort of done this before, different level of it, been to ashes and rose so many times, right? That's what we're here for. And as we heal, particularly emotionally, we are transforming those energies that are trying to make their way back to source, those emotions that we repress and deny and all of that. Hey, Rachel, our nervous systems are the means through which that emotional density, not just from the world, from our own ancestral lineages, our own DNA, gets transformed from lead to gold, whoop, shifting the vibration of the planet, letting yourself have a good, healthy cry. You know, it's become so part of my spiritual practice. I'm a Pisces moon, right? Seems to happen in the morning. And I notice when I have that good purging cry in the morning, it sounds weird. Granted, it's not something that I thought I signed up for, but it's sort of like for that half hour or whatever, that's my turn. Right? It's like, okay, let's let the pain and suffering and fear of the world just come up. Yeah, there's a piece of my own stuff in there. But that's like the trigger, right? That then allows all this other stuff to come up and just to love myself through it, right? How was my birthday? A lovely solitary adventure of prayer and meditation and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Which were, I scared the kitties. I think it's incredibly ironic that my cats are afraid of this, but you take power where you can find it, I suppose, in a house full of boys. Boys, boys. I thwarked the fan. It's a roll. I have to take a sip of water. Yeah, I had a lovely time, which it really gave me the energy to talk about this. Because what are the areas? Now, look, I feel like I want a trophy, a medal, MEDAL, a certificate. You healed your relationship with your parents in this lifetime. I mean, I really kind of did. I think my dad's dead is a little bit easier. But, you know, I love him. I love him. We talk every now and again. What I do for a living, it's not that hard. Mediumship really hard. Let's not go there either. Dealing with it is, but the actual process itself, not at all. But like, you know, with my parents, like I love them. I like a lot of people are terrified to be like their parents. I'd love to be like my parents, right? It's like I mean, it'll never happen, but I really like honor and respect who they are. And I thought, now there's maybe a certain segment of y'all, if you're old enough, like particularly going up through the self-help movement of the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, didn't you feel like, well, if I get that down, certainly the romantic thing will fall into place. Whole other set of different lessons connected, right? So all of these soul contracts, these twin flames and these soulmates that we incarnate are perfect for our souls. Oh, this is key. I hear them. This is so important for our individual souls, which are individualized units of consciousness manifested from and maintaining the pattern of the supreme entity. One appearing as many on a soul level. So of course the soul takes different incarnations in order to bring more depth of experience to the supreme being. Does that make sense? I know it's a little bit of the Borg, but not really, because it's love based. So so these are the areas. It's the romantic sexual ones. These are the ones that people are beating themselves up about. And I really think that not everybody has to accept the new definitions, and I will admit, gladly, it was Matt Kahn that kind of laid out the clarity on that one. And I've said it before, I never liked the term soulmate. I originally read it from a book called Soulmates by Jess Stern. Pretty sure that was back in the 80s, right? The late 80s, and really wanted my soulmate. But, you know, that was the infancy of the idea. Yes, it can come from Pluto's split of Plato. Pluto is Mickey Mouse's dog. He didn't write much Greek philosophy back then, from what I understand. Mickey Mouse's dog is gay. That is from the pilot episode of the TV show Soap, said by the beloved and I believe dearly departed Catherine Hellman. Bless her soul, if not, sorry. That thing that we yearn for, right? Of course, it's about learning how to love ourselves. But when we get that, all of that stuff is already written into the lives that we were chosen to play. Now, I see we've got some talk here. Let me just catch up. I'm a 1968 baby as well, and I only learned in 2017 that I have to love me first, and then the twin flame or soulmate will come in. Well, this is what I'm saying. You've had twin flames and soulmates all along. That's the redefinition that makes you go, oh, that makes so much more sense. And, oh, they're not all romantic sexual. And, oh, my father for me was a twin flame contract from the get-go. My brother too, to an extent. My brother, you know, we don't necessarily help each other heal, but we kind of teach each other how to heal ourselves. My mom and I always been that way. I can name, like if I said, like originally I said, write down every relationship you've ever had. Oh my God, I mean, really, if you thought about it, if you really like had the Wayback Machine that you could like write down, you realize you have hundreds, if not thousands of relationships, right? And then to just start sifting and sorting between, well, Did they teach me how to heal myself, or did they help me, or did I help them to heal and they helped me to heal? Symbiotic soulmate contract, right? Then you get that both contracts are moving you in the same direction. One of healing, one of love, and one that serves a purpose larger than having a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a partner or a lover or a husband or a wife or a family or all of that stuff that we connect to it. There's nothing wrong with wanting it, let me clarify. But this idea that you're doing something wrong because you haven't manifested it yet, there's such a bigger plan in play that if you really want it, you're probably going to get it, but usually not in the way you think you're going to get it, because when has that ever happened to anybody? Just light up your sacred cows. We're just going to bark me vegans. I'm talking metaphor. Bolt them right in the head, right? Like, if you really look at it, it's like, how loving is that? It's like, well, you only got one soulmate and you met when you were 13 and, you know, you decided to get braces and you didn't think you were good enough, so sorry, bye, there was your shot. What? No. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But the thing is we didn't choose these lives. See, that's something Matt Kahn said that knocked me on my root chakra. It's a good way to say that. That we wanted to come back. This isn't Botany Bay. This isn't like Planetary Alcatraz. We wanted to come back because it's Earth. Chocolate and sex and fast cars and, well, Project Runway I seemed to enjoy. RuPaul's Drag Race I really enjoyed this time around. Croissant. Clairvoyance, clairsentience, the only Claire I'm really interested in right now is the E Claire, right? We came in for all of it. Oh my God, a dark chocolate eclair with cannoli cream. Oh my God, what I wouldn't do, right? They don't have those in higher dimensions, apparently, and if they do, it's not the same, right? And still, the only good bagels and pizza are from New York, so you know what I mean? You know, you get what I'm saying. There's something about fish and chips in London, very, very different from fish and chips from Arthur Treacher. I'm just saying. It's an experience here. It's a game we come to play, but I don't think we choose the lives. I think we are given last-minute choice. We get to, you know, little thumbnail sketch, just like a video game. But all of the moves, all of the choices, we have free will, a near infinite amount of them. But one way or another, we're here to serve, and our relationships are the means through which we learn how to serve both ourselves and twin flames, necessary, as well as with others, soulmates. And then they talk to me about the legions of lovers. The legions of lovers. When the world gets crazy, chaotic, chaos is divine order. Pizza and bagels, I miss New York food. I know, it's the best. I'm not going to lie. I can get it anywhere. I can get it anywhere. So I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to brag. It's just where I happen to live. Done. Where was I going with that? Shit. See, it's easy for me to get distracted, but I do try it and keep in tune with that. So the more that we kind of keep, better way, they're redirecting me. Look at where we are on the planet right now in terms of isolation, right? How many of you in your relationships are with the people that you want to be with? Now, I understand family and friends and all of that stuff. And by all means, those relationships are as valid to the transformation of human consciousness on planet Earth as any other, particularly the twin flames in family that are for a lifetime. Contracts tend to come reason, season, or lifetime. Eau de toilette, cologne, perfume. Usually the lifetimers are the perfume, those lessons that are full on in-your-face soul development contracts, but not a punishment, something that was written into this life that other souls had to deal with playing this life. Does that make sense? Okay. But as we do that, this is the raising of the vibration of the planet. That every time we not be good little boys and girls, because that I can't stand, but every time we're being truly authentic with ourselves, allowing ourselves to love ourselves as is, whether it's twin flame or soulmate, the answer is the same. We purge out of ourselves. I don't want to call them entities. I don't want to call them lower vibrational frequencies, although that's what they're usually called. They're pieces of the divine disguised as shadow, as darkness. Angels pretending to be demons, if you will, and our own emotional pain. So the very emotional bypassing that we've been doing for at least decades with our spirituality. And I do point a little bit at the law of attraction manifestational movement. I understand it was necessary, but that idea of us getting everything we want, that's the ego's point of view. Like and there's an interview that I posted with Matt Kahn and these two women. I can't remember, I suck at names. I don't mean to be, I just do. Posted it, but they were like saying the idea, like the ego heard, you create your own reality. So it was going to be able to choose the circumstances and everything about it so that it would what? Always feel pain and never feel pleasure. It doesn't work that way. It never did, but it certainly does appear to here and there. In other words, to keep us what? Mindful of our thoughts and our emotions, turning our direction and our energy inward. However, thank you, Mama B, right? That now we really have the opportunity to unpack our emotional baggage in a way that is helping the planet. And this was the big point they wanted me to make. They said this to me before. So maybe you're not out on the streets protesting. I'm not. First of all, I'm exhausted. I work. If you saw the amount of work that I do off camera, you'd be like, oh yeah, I get it. Like at this point, I've given up on a social life because I'm not letting people in my house and I'm not traveling out a lot. And again, global situation there. But that means that we haven't done anything wrong. As a matter of fact, where are you? Are you here? There you are. This book is really, 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 really good and very, very helpful. Not that it goes so much into twin flames and soul mates and contracts and all of that stuff, but about letting go of these things spiritually, these habits, these myths that we have picked up along the way. That I've been trying to do this debunking through my YouTube channel, at least in terms of what twin flame and soulmate are, right? So that you can get the purpose of what they are. And for instance, integrate the golden rule, 10 golden rules of letting go. You've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. Why? Because it's all scripted. It's all scripted. You've done nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with your manifestational skills. There is a law of attraction. You're just not in control of what it brings to you. I mean, you can play with it, you can have fun with it, but are you in control of universal law? No. No, there are other factors at work. There are certain things in the program that need to play out called fate. What you do have choice over is how you want to react or respond to them. Usually you will react. That's the emotional purge, the trigger, the stuff coming up. But to respond means to come from love, to let that do what it's got to do without acting on it, and then move forward into the next moment in a loving way as possible, if possible. If not, you take a nap, you breathe, you take care of yourself. Good. You are working for the best and highest good. Yeah, for you and all of us. Absolutely. The thing is that, look, I don't have kids. I have cats. I have a company. Used to have a coven, don't anymore, right? Used to have a ministry, don't anymore. I am so in my new life with this new career. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. How do I know that? I'm doing it. A lot of prayer every day. But this idea that I made mistakes along the way, or that any of us have, is understandable. The guilt that we carry as a result of that is understandable. But from the soul's point of view, it's just not true. It's unnecessary. It's a learning curve. It's a game. Our flaws are written in because they're not really flaws. They're things that we came in to strengthen. Written in. Now, near infinite, yeah, exactly, hashtag forgiveness, right? And that's what relationships are for. In other words, how personal do I want to get? Not that I don't get personal on the channel all the time. I mean, there's one man in particular I always loved, like really thought I admit the one, you know what I mean? And still the divine, even though I let this person go, and really I cursed him for filth, I did, because I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop thinking about him. And still to this day, he orbits my head like a bee. Is it a bee? Right? And I pray and I hand it over. And still, every time that happens, I get a little bit stronger every day with that. Blessing him, releasing him, and also knowing that no bueno. But that's all of that pain and all of that grief and all of that suffering and all of that disillusionment. And I got to tell you, heartbreak, he didn't break my heart. He powdered it. But it needed to be powdered. Whatever was destroyed in me, any codependent, whatever patterning, obliterated. Because I learned how to love myself and give myself the love that he just couldn't. Now, the thing is, there is this weird thing. Thanks, Matt Kahn, for saying it. I kind of wish you hadn't. But he said that there are these rare occasions, and I've said this before, where the twin flame contract is really sort of like a hidden soulmate. But I call that the true love relationship. The course of true love never did run smooth, and that's the superhero level of it. Sorry, not everyone's going to choose a superhero level of that kind of stuff, right? And which is why if you're like already in happy, loving soulmate contracts, blessed be, you're healing the planet. Have at it. Learn Tantra. You know, breathe some life into the love that's already there, even within your own family members, right? If you really are truly in soulmate contracts, helping each other heal, bless them, amplify that. The empathic surge goes both ways. In other words, it's not just the empaths are feeling everybody's everything. Also, what we're feeling radiates out through the same quantum grid, if you want to call that the empathic grid. Can we call that that? Good for now, good for now. The empath, like how all the empathic energy, can't you see it? Just different grids for different chakras. Oh, great math. Screw that. You get the vibe, right? We are all craving intimacy. So looking at twin flames, what is the love they couldn't give you that you have to learn how to give yourself? And what we do is we beat ourselves up for that. Well, maybe if I had given myself that love, I wouldn't have to go through all that pain. How it's written. Got to look at it from the point of view of the soul, like, oh, new lesson. Okay, then, how do I give myself that kind of love? Because that's how the soul's up for it. But we're exhausted. We're empathically burned out, right? We're just so tired of the in and out, the up and down. The Katy Perry song, Hot and Cold, right? When that song came out, didn't she just be like, right? I remember sitting back listening to the words in my car, Veronica, my 2004 Saturn View, and just listening to the words and going, she knows me, right? How many of those have I gone through? That's my personal pattern. But it was never a punishment. It was a way of me learning to listen to my gut and my soul and my honor code about what I will and will not stand for and can't if I am truly loving myself. And even that's an evolution, right? And it's all for the well-being of all. So I want you to, before we're done tonight, because I'll be glad to take questions as questions have popped up, and some have popped up. But more importantly, I would like to end with a little heart-centered thing, because I think if we play the game consciously, which is the name of the game, being conscious of your divinity, who you really are, that every breath you'll ever need is already given. When you exhale for the last time in this life, you inhale in the next dimension you're in. It's just how that works. You don't have to be so afraid of the game. We came here to play too, and that's what I want to get there. I've done a lot of the work. Play. Oh my God, right? 52 years old now. I've been talking about being 52 years old for a very, very long time. I am now 52 years old. 1 year for every week of a year. 30 years ago, I met my first husband. I haven't really been married since, although I considered Danny somewhat to be a second husband because I was told my second husband would die, and he did. So feeling that one, we did live together. So, you know, in a way, he was definitely my husband in that sense. But the third one's supposed to be the rest of my life. So let's see. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's not. But maybe it won't matter. Maybe it won't matter because I am walking the path of true love, as are we all, which is the path of spiritual evolution, becoming the love that we truly are. Like the David sculpted by Michelangelo, the artist, not the turtle, just to clarify. When asked, how did he create the David? He said, I didn't create the David. God did. I just removed the excess marble. Relationships. Twin flames, soulmates, every different shape, size, and variety, perfecting us, sometimes with hammer and chisel, sometimes with a lovely soul exfoliant. I don't know, maybe something with an apricot seed. Sometimes through the warm, loving embrace and massage of a lover, or the close warmth and support of a family hug. Or that evil little inside joke you have with your besties. The soulmates. That are the remedy and yet absolutely the opposite of, in so many ways, the twin flame. That burn, that scorch, that hurt, that transform us, that traumatize us. I can say I was traumatized by Farm Boy, as I like to call him, because I don't want to out him to the rest of the world. I still love him. Go fig. But I guess that's part of the unity consciousness too, huh? I've always said my greatest blessing and my greatest curse is that once I love you, I never stop loving you. Although that doesn't mean you have my PIN number, you're allowed to come back. I am a witch. But it's an interesting role. And to me, that's where, when I start feeling a little weird about my life, I'm 52, I don't have this, I don't have that, but really 5 minutes of gratitude work, I look around me, I go, yeah, shut the fuck up, it's okay. But even allowing that voice to be loved. It's a pretty good role, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Look at your life that way, right? Like imagine you were sitting in a casting agent's office in the, what, 8th dimension, pick one, right? But get my 8th dimensional agent on the phone. What, Maury, what the hell are you doing to me down here? Who pushed me in this gig? Horse laughed. I just made myself horse laugh. That's an Arnold Horseshack. That's an Arnold Horseshack Mach 2. That was great, right? Oh my good God. But look at your life that way. Not the life that you are, but the life that you're living, right? The depth, what you've survived. I'm sorry, that character needs more love, not less. Even its ego, it's inflamed, angry, doesn't get what it's want. Even that inner child just stamping its feet. When the fuck is it my turn? Where's my Princess Bride moment? As you wish. Oh, Carrie. Now. I wish now. He's so cute. He's still cute. But, maybe that's why I came back as a man this life, because we tend to look good the older we get. What's that about? Shocker. Whatever. So anyway, twin flames will teach you that you love no matter what. And you know what? However that's supposed to play itself out in this life, all I know is this. People will love me. People will hate me. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with me at all. They're telling me to keep going, so watch out, right? Love me or hate me, it's not about me. But I'm a well-written character. I am. And I'm playing this role balls to the wall, which means authentic. So I'm going to cry when I need to cry. You won't see it on camera unless it leaks out the side. I am Leo rising. You can own all that stuff and alchemize it and have a field day with it too. I'm not really a Virgo. It's just written into the character I play, right? It's like, that's really the tea. But I don't remember all that higher vibrational stuff, right? I don't remember being in heaven. I don't remember all of this. I mean, I remember a crap ton of past lives, but souls just want to have fun, sort of, the whole experience. Are you good? Are you with me? Are you cognizant? Are you awake? Because we're going to end this with a little bit of a prayer, just a thing, just a touching of the heart, just a asking for the blessings, so that we can not just have the conversation as a third eye thing, but actually make the choices to love ourselves as we go and to follow our honor code in the solar plexus of what we know is right for us and what we don't, even when we don't know, to stop and pause and check, right? Great. To learn, to heal, and to get that not a moment has been wasted. And every relationship we've ever had, from shit to Shinola and back again, from lead to gold and anywhere in between, it's part of a larger purpose. The healing, maybe even of the planetary nervous system, as we heal our own. So the Legion of Lovers, the soulmates coming together. Can you imagine it? Let's imagine it. Take a moment, take a breath, close your, and draw your attention down into the center of you. Not your heart muscle proper, but the emerald vein of the Anahata, the heart chakra. Anahata meaning unstuck. Just imagining, you don't have to visualize it, just pretend. Just pretend it's this ball of glowing green emerald light, like straight out of Oz, right? The lizard, not the Jim, the Chris Maloney vehicle. Although that's a totally different scenario, isn't it? So just feed her breath. Anahata, I always thought a drag name. And now when you give it the ah of Anahata, feel it happen. All right, if you verbalize that, it's all right there, isn't it? Heart-centeredness is how we're going to get through this. And now imagine the globe, the planet, turning on its axis. And now all these little pinpoints of light appearing. The genius creators, everybody doing their thing. In this process of transmutation, where so many of us have gone through the dark night of the soul several times, let alone shamanic descent, embracing the shadow work, call it what you want. But now seeing the whole world go through it, it's making our light a little bit darker, right? As the whole planet's in a dark night. We have already been lit. Doesn't mean we're not going through it. We can understand it. And as we breathe into our hearts, we breathe into the hearts of all on planet Earth. Here, I love you. To every heart unlit. We're here. I love you. To your own heart, to every heart. Hey you, I love you. And look what that does to every other heart on planet. Sense it. As I do that, so that happens to every other life stream, every sentient being on Earth, and just the overflow of that, because ain't no one gonna hurt no animals or babies. If they're getting the love that they need everywhere, because we are deliberately healing our own hearts and maybe feeling the pain that they can't feel. So maybe we're now not out on the streets protesting. Maybe we are caretakers. Maybe we are healers. Maybe we are hermits and mystics. Maybe we are YouTubers doing our best to help this world heal. The artists, the mystics, the poets, the dreamers, the lovers, the mothers, the fathers, the brothers, the sisters, the exes, the husbands, the wives, the partners. Infinite variety, shape, form, color, taste level. Beginning to end, alpha to omega, A to Z. All fulfilling the same consciousness through our relationships, that we may lay the energetic grid so that the second wavers, nine masculines, the social justicers can do the reform, because there's just more love. There's just more love. There's more hope. There's more peace, there's more compassion, there's more empathy, true empathy. So no more babies in cages, no more starving people, no more people not getting what they need to survive, to grow, to heal, to learn, to become the best that they can be and fulfill their role in the divine plan as it gets anyway. And may it begin with me, and may it begin with us, because we're here. We're doing the work, and we're doing our best for our well-being and for the well-being of all. So may it be. And so it is. And take a moment to know that you're doing your best in this world. And that there is help. There is guidance. There is grace. There is hope. Thank you for watching tonight. And thank you, everyone who contributed. I can see the connection's been going in and out. This is probably as jump cut up as it can be. And maybe high vibration does that. Maybe it doesn't. I really want to thank you all so much for watching tonight. It's been a while since I've done this. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed of it all, my friends. Wishing you and blessed for the well-being of all. So motivating. Pleasure. But for now, my darlings, say it with me. Say it twice. Blessed. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.